Hey everyone, I am Marlena Bayless. I wanted to get on here to talk about how we can minimize hardship in growing our careers because working can be its own work. It can be its own struggle. And so we don't want it to be hard because we spend a large portion of our life working. If we're all on LinkedIn, this is why we're here. We're spending some of us, unfortunately, 12 to 14 hours working. And so you don't want that to be something that is weighing you down, that is burning you out, that is making you struggle every day. It needs to be something that is lifting you up, that is encouraging you, that's inspiring you, that is fulfilling you, if at all possible, that is serving the greater good and helping contribute to this world because we all could use it. That's what I personally believe in. And so I thought it would be good to talk about this. How can we make it easier? And I've been there, so I know, and some of the things I'm going to talk about just because I am a coach and I work with women, predominantly Black women, with these issues, helping them when they feel stuck in their careers, move out of that so that they can really maximize their talents and their potential fully and step into their best self, their bold self. I like to say take up space because they have so much more to offer, but also the doing and the being aspect of that, which means not just what you do, but who you are as you do. And so I think it's important to know how to operate in that manner because it changes our experience, it changes how we feel, which ultimately changes our impact. And so it's a win-win in both situations, right? So when our work is hard for us, it makes it hard for everything else that we have to do. It makes it hard to get up, to get ready, to talk to our colleagues, to deal with our customers, our clients. It makes everything challenging. And, some of the things that I've seen in my clients that have made things hard that I really love to work with clients on and help them get past is hanging on to the past is one of those things that really keep people stuck, you know. And by that, I mean past mistakes with, choices they made in their career journey. That could be, folks who maybe stayed in a job too long or was really, really just doing all the work and wasn't getting the credit and then realize a lot later that they were contributing at a high level but wasn't being recognized at a high level. And there's a lot of self-judgment and regret, and then that's showing up in the present, but not really understanding how to move past that moment, how to reframe and retrain their thinking so that does not hinder them, because that's a real thing. When you look back over some choices or bad work experiences, people don't really talk about that as much. We're talking about it a lot more, wellness in the workplace. And it's one of the things I do with companies as well, helping them work with their talent and helping them really create spaces for talent to thrive. It is understanding what people are going through. But when you've been through this and you don't know, one, that's even one of the things that you're struggling with. Sometimes people aren't even aware that is one of the reasons why they feel stuck. So sometimes you have to, I work with clients and that's one of our processes during the assessment is kind of getting a clear understanding as to what they're going through and why. It's reviewing that, but that's one of the big reasons. Is really the past is got a hold on folks and they cannot let it go. And the past will hold you hostage. And, that actually is the definition of trauma, is when you get stuck and, your story does not continue. You get stuck in a story, you just keep parlaying it. I don't know if anybody has these coworkers or people that in general in any area of life where they kind of got the same story and they just you know their story. They're gonna tell it to you every time you see them. We just got through one holiday. We got another holiday coming up where that family member that come and tell you, and the same thing, same song every time you see them. they're stuck, and that's the same thing that can happen to us in our careers. And it doesn't have to be that way, but it happens because of the past. Something happened and we have not been able to move on from that. So we have to do the work to move through that, understand it, learn from it, so that we can move forward, right? So another thing is, I was going to say, not addressing issues that you have in your work. So a lot of times what I've seen with my clients is, especially because as women, we are trying to, and as Black women, we're trying to work through a lot of people's ideologies about who they think we are, whether that's, being nice, and or in our culture as Black women, and depending on, as Black women, trying to not seem angry or upset. People have a lot of assumptions about you depending on their interactions or lack thereof with people of color. And so when you come into these spaces, they put a lot on you to affirm or disaffirm what they believe. And because of that, we tend to not address poor behavior. And that could be anyone from a direct report or a colleague. But what that does is that really is taxing on your ability to contribute. And what I really work with my clients on is with their leadership, right? Because this is really about framing your leadership in such a way in that it's not solely about you being a woman or a Black woman, which that's who you are. So I'm 100% showing up authentically, because then people get to see that is a part of you. That is not all of you, but that is definitely a part of you. And being able to create a sense of belonging and safety for yourself first, and then with the people that you work with. But there's a level of honesty and truth that comes with you being able to be direct and not internalizing or taking on some of the issues that come with people that you're just working with. That's just, it's different. There's a lot of differences. And so addressing some of the issues that you have, and sometimes it can simply be communication. It can be a difference of work style. It could be a difference of how work needs to be delivered or expectations. But because of our inability to feel comfortable sometimes in being direct, or not knowing how to communicate with folks, we will hesitate. And so we will internalize, we will ruminate, we will think and think and think and think, and the frustration will build, and we will not address the necessary issues. And that can lead to a level of stagnation, because then you don't want to engage as much. You pull back on certain opportunities. You don't want to work with certain colleagues, and you don't learn then how to move through discomfort to develop further so that you can grow your skills and be able to, network, communicate, expand your horizons with different kinds of people, to deliver the things that you are 100% excellent at, and so that's something that I've definitely seen. And sometimes it's about addressing the issues that mean it's time to leave a place of business, and meaning transition over to something else, and not necessarily just quitting, which we see in the Great Resignation, but it may mean you just need to transition to some other kind of work, and that something is not working for you, even though it looks good on paper. I would say the next big thing I've seen is that women typically working without support, especially my sisters, we've been conditioned to really believe we can do everything without help, and we can't. And despite the world and even our workplaces having that expectation, the ones that really succeed and thrive and successfully flourish in their lives and their careers are the ones who have support and guidance, and they invest in that in themselves, whether it's their health, whether it's people always talk about their squad, their teams, and it takes intentionality. And so that's why I do what I do, because I firmly believe in this. I see the life-changing work in my clients who've been able to transition their lives and their careers, and I feel like women need this support. So I hope that this was helpful. Please shoot me, a comment or a question if this was